Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Talk 10. It gives me such joy to communicate with you on this platform. Today, I'm very proud to be interviewing my mother in law, Mrs. Devagie Govender. Now, she is a highly intelligent, a very knowledgeable, a very well known personality among South Africans. In fact, she has had an illustrious career. It began in education. She served as an educator for many years, moved on to become a lecturer, completed her law degree, and then became an attorney, also served as a public prosecutor. And much later, she became a member of parliament. She served as deputy director of culture in the House of Delegates. In this portfolio, she did extensive work throughout the country promoting culture. And finally, her last portfolio was Minister of Education. So she has had quite a phenomenal journey. But today we are going to be talking to her. And just to let you know, she's currently 88 years old, very graceful, very beautiful. So a real honor to be talking to her today. She is a prolific writer and she has written 3 books. We're going to be talking about book number 1, which is Paamalai, book number 2, which is called Araadhana, and book number 3, which is called Divine Encounters. So, with much happiness, I welcome today Mrs. Devagie Govender.
Thank you, Mahen, for asking me to join you on your program, Talk 10. I consider it a pleasure. I also say greetings to our viewers out there.
So, Amma, Paamalai is a beautiful book.
This is the book, Paamalai. The very first festival that I talk about is Kavadi. And of course, Kavadi is dedicated to Lord Muruga. And it's very, very popular. Most people will take vows when they have illness at home or bad luck and things not going right for them. They will take vows to carry a kavadi. Then I have the Varalakshmi Viradam, which is a fast dedicated to Lakshmi. We have the Janmashtami Krishna Jayanti festival, which is very, very popular amongst all Hindus. Lord Krishna is beloved. Then we have Vinayaka Chaturthi, which is a very important god. You are doing any prayer, he must be invoked first and get his blessing because he's a remover of obstacles. I've got a Navaratri, 9 nights. I have Puratasi. Puratasi is a month long. Strict vegetarianism is observed. And I have included in this book recipes for making sweetmeats and food associated with Puratasi. The festival of Diwali is explained. There's Pongal, which is a harvest festival. Then Sivaratri is dedicated to Lord Shiva. Then I have Mariamman, a prayer to Sakti. Then I have explanations of how to handle certain ceremonies that have to be performed at home. I've got a chapter on birth, on puberty, marriage, and then Nalangu, which is a ceremony that is associated with marriage. I have a chapter on the Navagragas, who are the planets. And then there's a section on death. Finally, I've got the cardinal features of Hinduism.
Araadhana is the second book. Can you tell us about Araadhana?
Araadhana was an upgraded version of Paamalai. Our ancient cultural traditions have to be preserved. This was the time to come out with a book that would enable youth that now live in this multinational democracy to preserve their ancient culture.
So Araadhana is very much a reference book for young people. Am I correct?
Yes, certainly it's a reference book, but a pictorial one and a joy to read because it has a lot of extra information as well. For example, the Puratasi festival, in which we have to recite the prayers for every observance on a Saturday, is written in Tamil. And I've had these books transliterated and included in Araadhana, which is a great help for those people that don't know the language.
Third book, Divine Encounters. Can you elaborate?
In Divine Encounters, I have written about the amazing spiritual renaissance of Sai devotees in South Africa and the miracles that happened in their lives. Each one of them that has had a spiritual experience with the Satya Sai Baba have given me their personal interviews, and I've recorded these interviews, and it makes wonderful reading. This book is aimed at giving recognition to the band of people in South Africa involved in introducing quality of life to the underprivileged and introducing young people to a sound value system to guide them in today's troubled world of drug abuse, child abuse, broken homes, and juvenile crime.
Amma, you were blessed to visit Swami Shivananda at the Rishikesh ashram. Can you share with us a little bit about that experience?
Well, it's one of the unique and outstanding experiences of my life. It was in 1958 that I went with my parents, my mom and dad, and we went by ship to India. And we went up to Rishikesh and had the unique privilege of meeting with Gurudev and being in his presence, talking to him and so on. But the main thing was that I had just completed my Bachelor of Education degree then, and I had gone straight afterwards, I had gone to Rishikesh, and we met up with the Swami Sivananda. And he asked me to give a talk on the educational system in South Africa at the satsang. And I gave a talk to a very distinguished audience coming from all over the world. And Swami was very, very thrilled and very pleased with my performance. And so he bestowed on me, conferred on me the title of Prasanga Pravina, gave me a certificate.
So what did Gurudev want of you when you returned to South Africa?
But he said to go back to South Africa and be my ambassador. So when I came back to South Africa, many Divine Life bodies called me to give lectures at the satsangs. They gave many talks at various temples and so on. I was asked to edit the Path to God Realization, that little booklet that is published by the Divine Life Society. I was editor for a little time until the pressure of work as a high school teacher prevented me from serving further. Swami Sivananda was so very, very, very thrilled with our family. And in fact, my father had started the first printing press in Durban for the Divine Life Society, for them to publish their booklets and so on. Gurudev was very, very grateful to my dad as well. And very, very thrilled to have our family there. And one of the things that always rings in my ears is Gurudev's silvery voice singing out in that, the Ganges flowing on at the side of the ashram, and we all seated there amongst an august audience. And Gurudev says, "Long life, good health, peace, and prosperity to A.V. Govender and family."
Amma, what are your concluding words for young people, for future generations?
When we look around us in the world in which we live, it is obvious that the Creator intended that there should be variety in nature as well as in the types of people and animal life that inhabit the created universe. The way of life of a particular group of people is called the culture of that group. Their language, mode of worship, their customs, and traditions. This way of life or culture gives a particular group its identity, which it strives to preserve in a multiracial society. At this point in time, we are in the electronic age of information technology. Very few people venture out without a cell phone in hand or a laptop in their briefcase. This has created a clinical way of life and created many social evils. My advice to the young generation is to imbibe from their elders the human values that are prescribed by our ancient cultures. Human values are common to all cultures and distinguishes us from the animal world. Mahenthri, this has been a signal experience for me. I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to share all of the thoughts that I have contained in my books. Mahenthri, I wish you many, many happy recordings hereafter. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amma. God bless you.